Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of your favorite show on a Wednesday night, talking about Alabama State football. It's the Black and Gold Show. I'm your host, JB, and once again, we have another special guest, man. Like I told you guys, each and every week, I'm going to give you the best content for the off season, right? We got interviews. We got them lined up, and I have a very special guest on tonight, man. I'm excited for this one. You see him on the screen right here, man. I'm gonna let him talk about himself and let you guys know who he is. But it's our new offensive coordinator, Tony Hull. What's up, Tony? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
I'm great, man. Thank you for joining the show tonight, man. Glad to have you on.
Man, I appreciate you having me. Seriously, it's humbling, and I really appreciate it.
Y'all in the chat, welcome him to Hornet Nation, man. He's been here since January, so let's welcome him in. And they're excited to have you on, man. You know, the word came out today. We official, we on, and we're going to give you guys this good interview tonight, man, for sure. All right, so y'all know what to do, man. Like we do each and every week on the show, man. Please do these three things I asked you to do. Please hit the like button. It helps us get in the algorithm with all the other football content. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. We almost at 1,000. I think I need 20 more subscribers to get to 1,000. So y'all help me out and share it to your people. Anybody who likes Alabama State football, are you a fan of SWAC football, HBCU football? Bring them over to the Black and Gold Show. Now let's go through these sponsors real quick before we get started, man. I don't want to keep Coach too long. So of course we are sponsored by none other than Jack Ingram Mercedes-Benz. If you're in the market for a new Benz or any pre-owned vehicle, go check them out. Website is right there, JackIngramMercedes.com. Proud sponsor of the Sports Talking with JB Podcast Network. Also, we are sponsored by my favorite, your favorite, everybody's favorite apparel brand. When it comes to the HBCU, the SWAC, Alabama State, see it on the screen right there. The Yard Apparel brand. Check them out, man. Shout out to my guy, Demetrius Mickles. He got all your gear up. Get ready for the fall. Get ready for the season. The YardApparelBrand.com. And you can also follow for more content. Follow Sports Talk JB on all social media platforms is where we give you guys content outside of these live YouTube shows. So go ahead and follow on IG and on Twitter X. Now, before we get started, also, I want to let you guys know, Coach Eddie Robinson got the football camps coming up. I'm sure Coach Hull is going to be there as well. First prospect camp, June 13th. Then you got the 7-on-7 camp and the big man camp, June 16th. And you got prospect camp number 2, July the 10th. And you can sign your kids up, all your high school kids, man. Get them ready, get them signed up to be looked at by this coaching staff. And, you know, this is the first step of recruitment, man. Get them to the camp. So right there, go ahead and sign up. And I'm definitely going to be there for sure. We already know it's going down. People welcoming you to the nest, Coach.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to Bobby Tanner Jr. in the chat. You know, you got some of the players' parents in here, man. You know, Brandon Tanner's dad. You know, shouts out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Gloria Baker right there, man. You know, Elijah Baker's mom in the chat. So, yeah, it's going down, man. A lot of my good people, these people have been following the platform. We got people who have subscribed to this network, and you know, very good people who support. So I want to give y'all those special thanks, man. Shout out to my guy Cable right there, Eric Cable in the chat. So that's what's up. He said he told you at the signing day. He said he told you only needed him to beat last year's scoring average by 1 point.
I'm on it. I'm on the task.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So if y'all got any questions for Coach tonight, man, y'all feel free to leave us some questions. Before we get started, just want to let y'all know SWAC Media Day is also July the 15th. I will be there. It's in Birmingham, 10 a.m. at the Sheraton Hotel. I'm sure it will be broadcast, and I plan to do my own thing there too. So It's going down. Make sure y'all get ready for that. It's coming up real soon. All right, coach, let's get to this interview, man. First things first, man. Introduce yourself to the people. If they don't know who you are, they're gonna know tonight. So introduce yourself to the people.
How y'all doing out there? I'm Tony Hall, the new offensive coordinator, quarterback coach here at Big Bama State. Excited to be here, happy to be here, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, absolutely, man. My chat already excited. They were talking about, can we get 700 points this season? Come on, y'all be for real. But I mean, we had a great year last year. You are a great offensive mind. I heard great things about you. When I got the news that you are a new OC, I was excited. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of reasons. But where are you originally from, Coach?
I'm originally from New Orleans, born and raised out of New Orleans East.
Okay.
I went on to play college ball at UL Lafayette. So I was a Louisiana guy through and through, and then I was in a private out of college. I was in the private sector for a couple of years, and then I got into coaching after that. And then I've traveled, because of the profession, kind of all over the United States.
Yeah. But you New Orleans born and bred, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, man. So you mentioned getting into coaching, man. How did you initially get started into coaching?
It's a crazy story. So when I was going into my senior year, director of football operations at UL was like, Tony, man, you make a great coach. You ever thought about coaching? He's like, I know you're getting a degree in engineering, but man, you would make one hell of a coach. And I was like, that does sound fun. And I told my girlfriend at the time, or my fiance at the time, and she was like, well, you getting an engineering degree. Why would you go be a coach? She was like, so I'll cut you a deal. She was like, she said, if you give me because this back in the day that you had to like apply and create resumes. She's like, I'm gonna create you a resume, and if you get a job before it's time for you to take the GA spot, you go into engineering. If you don't, you can take the GA spot. Well, I agreed to it. Well, let's just say I got a job offer before the semester ended out. So that's how I got into engineering before I got into coaching.
Yeah. And engineering, you mean like NASA, right?
Well, I first started out at a company called Northrop Grumman, and we built the F-18 fighter jet. We were out of El Segundo, California. And then I got on with NASA and Lockheed Martin, moving back to New Orleans to build the external fuel tank at the Michoud assembly facility in New Orleans East. So that's how I got on with NASA.
Wow. So that's a unique story, because normally you hear coaches, they play ball, right? They become a GA and then they move on to position coaches and go from there. You took a different route, right? So
right.
That's an awesome and unique story. So after all that, being an engineer, so we know you smart, right? Because an engineer, you got to be top tier, genius level. Like,
I wouldn't say all that.
Well, hey, you had to know what you was doing, Coach.
Yeah, it's a little something.
Yeah. So, first coaching job, man. What was that first coaching job?
So my first coaching job, I was a volunteer offensive line coach at my old high school, and then Katrina happened, so the season couldn't finish out. Okay. So that season was kind of like a wash, but the first full season was a volunteer offensive line coach at Mandeville High School, and then I did that for a year, and then the Warren Easton High School opportunity presented itself, and I took it. And here's why I took it, because I always wanted to get back. I always wanted to be a college coach, right? I didn't want to really do the high school thing, but I wasn't going to take the GA spot after being an engineer. I wasn't going to do all that because I had a family. So what I decided to do, because I'm not a great like small talk network guy. Like I'm not real good at like small talk. Well, hey, how was your day? Where you
Yeah,
from? That ain't really my deal, right? So in order to be great, you gotta identify your weaknesses. So I knew one of my weaknesses were networking. So I decided, hey, through prayer and meditation, like it was shown to me, like in order to create these networks, I'm just gonna build a high school program that everybody's going to have to walk through the door in order to talk to me, right?
right.
And that's why I took the Warren Easton High School job, and we built it into something really really phenomenal. Um, and throughout that process, we had probably 5 to 15 guys rated on the ESPN Top 300. And so that forced, this is old school recruiting, right? I say old
Yeah,
school, like I'm old, I'm not, but that was recruiting back in the day where the coaches had to come in your office. So Nick Saban and Les Miles and all these other cats had to come in the office to recruit the players and talk to me. And that's how I built the network and was able to get into college football.
wow, wow. And once again, that's smart on your part, right? And you mentioned like the old way. This was back what like after Hurricane Katrina, like 06,
Oh 06, oh 07, yeah.
07?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And it was crazy because the right after Katrina, all the other public school, all other schools in New Orleans were open. Warren Easton opened a year after, so all the athletes were gone, and I think there were like 8 teams in the district, and I think between 5 of the 8 teams, I think they were pumping something out like 30 to 35 Division I signees a year. So it was like
ooh,
it was ridiculous, man. It was. I'm talking. You had one year. You had Tyrann Mathieu, Leonard Fournette,
mm,
Speedy Noel. You had all these cats that kind of that played in the league in one district at one time. And here I am, little old Warren Easton High School with 50 kids, and only 45 of them played high school football before, football in general before. So it was a good experience, but it was tough starting out.
yeah, yeah. So from doing that, man, getting in from high school, getting to the college level, what was that like? What was that like moving on to the college level?
Well, I'll be honest with you. At first, I kind of like I was forcing it, and my mom used to always say, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, right? So I had this plan of how I was going to get into college football, and man, it just was. And then I realized, like, man, you know what? I just got to be where my feet are. That's an old college cliche, right? But I
Yeah,
just got to do a great job where I'm at, loving kids, supporting kids, building kids up to be these great young men that God destined them to be. And when I just started focusing on that, man, the college opportunity just kind of jumped from nowhere. It just came out of nowhere. It's a lot of people go, man, you went from a high school head coach to a Power Five at the time, a Power Five assistant head coach. They was like, man, how did you do that? Man, it was the grace of God and just hard work and preparation.
yeah. That's a big jump. So you mentioned that being on a powerful. So what school was that you went to?
University of Kansas.
Oh, okay, okay. You was coaching like running backs or something back then, what are you?
Yeah, I was coaching running backs. And probably had one of the best backfields in the Big 12.
Mm,
And like, when I got into college, I didn't want to get into college as a recruiter. And all my mentors, everyone I knew was like, Tony, you just got to get your foot in the door. So you got to be a great recruiter. You got to go the recruiting route. And so I did. But being a great recruiter, you got to build your room first. Like you can't
mm,
have a bad room and call yourself a great recruiter, right? So had probably one of the better rooms in the Big 12 when it came to running back play.
yeah,
But, the room would do extremely well and we would still lose games. And I was like, all right, man, this is a sign for me that I got to get into more of a leadership role. And that's when I started to pursue the avenue to become a coordinator.
okay. Okay, that's a good that's a dope way. And while you was at Kansas, it was a big time coach there, right?
So my first 3 years, I was there under a guy by the name of David Beatty. And then the last year, I was there under Les Miles.
Les Miles. I was thinking of Les Miles, right? And that was after the LSU Les Miles when he went to Kansas.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So and you also mentioned like from high school and having to talk to these guys when they was recruiting. So you kind of build relationships, right?
I did. I built some really, really great relationships, and I learned a lot about recruiting, about football, just
Mhm.
about building a program, building an offense. Like I learned so much. I now that I look back on it, I understand why God took me that route, because it allowed me to observe a bunch of greats in this profession and see what makes them so great.
Yeah, yeah. So getting into the SWAC, because you've been in the SWAC before you came to Alabama State. You've coached a couple schools in the SWAC. So talk about that real quick. How did you get in the SWAC, and how did you what was the other schools you were at?
Well, yeah, my first introduction to the SWAC wasn't really a SWAC route, I should say. And I don't say that in a negative context. So my first job in the SWAC was at Grambling as the offensive coordinator for Hugh Jackson.
Okay.
And if anybody knows, Hugh Jackson, he comes from the NFL, has an NFL background, extremely bright football mind. Well, for a lot of college coaches, that's real intimidating, right? Because again, he's a bright mind, and he always wants to understand the why and the how and and what's the reason behind it. So a lot of guys like backed out of like trying to become his coordinator. Well, I'm a part of the Minority Coaching Coalition, and they kind of gave me a heads up, and I was like, well, man, shoot, put me in a room with him. I'm ready. I'm good. And man, when I interviewed with him, it was probably a 3 to 4 hour interview session at a restaurant, at a table in a booth. And man, he grilled me, and it was good for me. I enjoy it. I enjoy you asking me why and how, and what's the rationale and reason behind it, because again, that's my background, right? So I got on as the offensive coordinator with him the first year, and that's kind of funny. That's where and I know we're going to get to this, but that's where Coach E-Rob first took notice of me. He said it a bunch of times, because at the time, a backup quarterback from Big Bama State, Miles Crowley, transferred to Grambling. And he said, man, E-Rob said, man, I'll look at the first 3 weeks of the season. I'm like, man, what is Miles doing? How the heck is he putting up all these numbers and these points? And he looked and he was like, well, man, who's the offensive coordinator there? And that's how the first first communication between him and I started. But then I went on from Grambling State and went to UAPB for 2 years with Alonzo Hampton. Alonzo Hampton is a really, really good guy. We worked together at ULM, and that's how that connection happened. And then now I'm here.
That's dope, man. That's dope. I met you at the we have the the recruit, we had our signing day. We had our signing day, and all the coaches were there, and you had all the cameras in your face, so I didn't really get to talk to you like I wanted to. So, you kind of wait your turn, but I already knew like you coming from UAPB and great offensive mind and things like that. So talk about like what ultimately made you choose to come to Bama State, and what was that initial conversation with Coach Robinson like?
I mean, what made me choose to come here is because it's Bama State. Like I first took notice when I was at Grambling, and we played in, I believe it's called like either Port City Classic or something like that.
Mobile.
Yeah, in Mobile. So there's this banquet the day before or 2 days before, I can't remember. And this is Grambling talking. I'm from Louisiana. Like Grambling is Grambling. Like it's the blue blood of HBCU, right? Like it's Grambling. And I didn't know much about Bama State, but then when I walked into this banquet, and man, I saw the prestige. I saw the way the players were dressed. I saw the way the auxiliary groups were dressed. Everybody was in suits and ties, and then when the fans walked in, with a certain aura about them, I was like, wait, hold up. Man, who are these people? What do they have going on? It was just an aura that was around the university. And I was like, man, I don't know much about Bama State, but we better buckle our britches, because this is for real. You can feel it, you can see it. It's hard to really put in the words, but it's easy to feel when you're in it. And when I was around it, I was like, man, this might be a real place. And then at the game, watch the fans and the amount of support, and I was kind of sold on Bama State that year, So when Coach Rob approached me about the job earlier this year, I remember that experience, and I was like, man, this is an easy decision.
Yeah. And you guys already had a connection, man. Both of y'all from New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Both of y'all Omegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's the connection that in the coaching ranks, like you say, he already knew you from the initial from Grambling. He
Mm-hmm.
already knew who you were even from being an OC with Miles Crawley. So, was you surprised that he called you? He reached out to you?
I honestly, yes. Here's why: because in this lifestyle we live, you kind of live like in blinders, like horses. I don't even know what those things you put on the side of horses when they're riding, right? That's kind of how my life is when it comes to this coaching world. And over the past couple years, I'm part of teams that didn't have winning records, but after every game, probably 94% of the time, 95% of the time. Like I just pulled that from somewhere, but it's a large amount, right? Because I don't want to say always, it's a little less than always. After the game, either the head coach or the D coordinator will come up to me and go, man, coach, man, this was one of the toughest games we played all year. Man, having to prepare for you was really tough. Man, y'all doing some really great things on offense. And, you hear that after every game. You get, at first you're like, man, I'm doing some good things. And after a period of time when you're doing it and you're not winning, you're like, man, I don't want to hear that stuff, man. I want some victories, right? So I've always heard, man, you're doing such a great job offensively. And, man, you got the country on fire, the conference on fire about what you're doing offensively, but never really saw the benefit. You know what I mean? So when Coach Rob called, it was like confirmation, like, oh yeah, wow, people are struggling to prepare for this. People do worry about what I'm doing offensively. So that was just kind of like confirmation for what I've been hearing over the years.
Yeah. So speaking of like your offensive scheme, like what's your offense philosophy? Like if somebody has never watched a team that you were coordinating for, what is it like?
Oh, that's easy. Put the ball in the playmaker's hands as much as possible and try to force the defense to create eye violation or communication violations. So that's with tempo, that's with motions, that's with shifts, that's with unbalance, that's with, you're like, whoa, coach, that's a lot of stuff. Like it's just our ability to do those sort of things, but also keep it extremely simple for the guys that's doing it. That's the beauty of what we do offensively. So people are like, well, coach, are you more pass or run? It depends on what the defense is giving us, and it depends on what offensive tools we have. And that usually people don't like to hear that. They want to say, oh, I throw it all the time. Or I run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. It just depends on personnel, man, and the makeup of the team. I tell people like this at the beginning of every spring, it's like building a house. We take all the countertops out, all the flooring out, all the drywall out. We strip it down to the studs, and we see what the structure of the house is like. And once we've identified what the structure of the house is like, then we can go in and add the pieces to make it look beautiful.
That's a great analogy too, man, because you have to do that, especially you coming in, it's your first year. So you got to get familiar with all the players, and we can't go off of last year, right? And I know a lot of people are going to be expecting us, because Coach Barnett did great. We averaged 41 points a game. So, you got to come in there, and it's kind of like a little pressure, right, man? We got to keep this offense up at that level, right? We got to get back up there. So, man, let's talk about your quarterbacks, because you also are the quarterback coach. Let's talk about this quarterback room, man. Phenomenal room led by the HBCU Player of the Year, Andrew Body, man. What was the first conversation with Andrew Body like?
It was honestly, it was great, and here's why. Because it was great, but it was also humbling, right? So when I took the job, E-Rod was like, all right, coach, first order of business, we got to talk to Body and get him back out of the portal. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, so I'm doing my research, and trying to, calling around, watching film, trying to get a feel for him. I called him, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "Man, coach, I'm glad to have you aboard." He was like, "Man, everybody's telling me you're the guy that could take my game to the next level. Let's talk about that." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, he was like, "Man, coach, how the kids talk." He was like, "Coach, your name ringing in the streets on how you develop quarterbacks." He was like, "How you gonna develop me?" So we just kind of we ran through that at first, and then what is it going to take for me to help me try to get to the next level? And we talked about that, and then we talked about some other things, and then we talked football specifics, and then it was like, you know what? Don't listen to everything I'm saying. I want you to call other people that I either worked with or played with, and see what they say, because that's the most important thing. And then he got back with me and was like, "Man, coach, everyone I've talked to, conversations we had have been great. Coach Rob and I are working some things out, but I really do want to play for a guy like you." And that was humbling to have the National Player of the Year go, "Coach, I really want to play for you." I take that. I don't take that lightly, and I'm truly
Yeah.
blessed to be presented with the opportunity.
Yeah, man. Like I say, man, I mean, it speaks for itself. His body of work from body last season, pretty much. I mean, you already know what to expect from him,
Mhm.
and for him to say, "How can you help him get to that next level?" It says a lot about you. You know what I'm saying, about your coaching acumen. So with Andrew Body coming back, right? We got Tyshawn Smoot, who also played great last season when Body went down. You got him in the fold. We got a freshman quarterback in Aaron Fry, who won a state championship last season. Took a lot of the first team reps in the spring, and then you got two JUCO guys. Talk about those other quarterbacks real quick.
So just kind of starting with Fry. I heard this a long time ago. Like, if people can look at your position group or your team and go, "Man, they got a lot of talent," that means you've done your job as a coach. Here's why: you made the game simple enough, and you brought them to a level where they're able to display their God-given ability, right? So with Fry being a freshman, and people are like, "Man, shucks, he looked good to be a freshman." I take pride in that because he was able to grasp the offense. Now, mind you, from spring game to the first time we talked offense, we're talking 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in the system 2 months and able to operate at the level at which he can operate. It's pretty spectacular, and it speaks volumes to his work ethic. So he's a young man who the sky is legitimately the limit for him, and I'm excited to what he can do. But he has the potential to be one of the greats to ever grace the campus of Alabama State. But he has to work towards it. He has to continue to progress on the trajectory he's on, and the sky's the limit for him. Another player, Keegan Anderson, who actually walked on here. He was committed and signed to UAPB. And when I took the job here, because of NCAA rules and all that, like, "Hey man, this is the last time I'm gonna call you, but I'm just letting you know that, I'm taking the job at Alabama State." And he was like, "Coach, man, I want to play for you." I was like, "Look, man, I can't, I talked up UAPB because I still have friends there on the staff, and guys I respect, and some family members on the staff."
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just like put it to the side. Well, he showed up to Alabama State, enrolled in classes, came to walk on tryouts. He was throwing the football, and Coach Rob was like, "Man, who is this?" I was like, "Man, it's Keegan Anderson, the kid that signed." And it kind of jumped from there. He has a tremendous arm talent. Again, he's a junior college transfer, but he's a freshman. He was a one semester JC player.
Wow.
After 5 weeks, he was top two in the country in junior college in passing yards. And he broke his hand, I believe, or yeah, he broke his hand and was out the rest of the year. After week 10, he still was in the top five. That's how many yards he put up, passing yards wise, in the JUCO ranks. And then we have a kid by the name of Landon Vessel. We signed him. Um, he's an engineering major, really, really smart, has great work ethic, has great habits, does everything we ask of him. So the beauty about the room is not the talent level. The beauty about the room is the character of the room.
Yeah.
And I can't take credit for that. Is because those guys, man, we we graded every competitive snap this spring, and we posted the grades everywhere. And those guys competed their butts off, and they're competing their butts off, knowing that they're going to be the backup to Andrew Body, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that didn't let so they competed knowing that there was in, but they competed like the job was on the line and like it was theirs. They're trying to get, and they joke with Andrew Body all the time, like don't slip up because I'm right behind you, and they really believe it. So the room is just amazing, man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be able to coach these young men.
Yeah, man. And like I've said on previous shows with Body, Body still, recovering. He'll be ready for the fall, but Body and Smoot not participating, not throwing the ball, anything in the screen. That's why you got Fry, you got Anderson, you got Vessel getting all these reps, and they're gonna mean something if their number get called because they got
Mhm.
all the reps in the spring. So
Yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah. Those reps are highly important, and then just also the fact that you know, Smoot and Body were able to take the mental reps
yeah,
every day at practice, which was really crucial for us as well.
yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about your skill position. I don't know if you know this, but I know everybody else knows that we lost a lot at the wide receiver position last season. A lot of production, man. I mean, Jalen Jones, Ajah Harrell, Asa Greg, Dylan Jetty, who just got drafted by the CFL.
Mhm.
So we got to replace a lot of production, man. What are we expecting from our skill position players this season, Coach?
We say expecting the same production and even more moving forward. Now we're in a process of developing that talent and getting them to where they need to be. May add another piece here or there as well, but man, the receiver went from at the beginning of spring, like, oh my God, look at this receiver room, to oh my God, look at this receiver room. It went from really, really like, I don't know about this to oh my God. And like that's because of Coach Wyndham. He's done a great job with that room and developing, those players. We lost a lot of experience. I'm not gonna say talent, we lost a lot of experience, but that's where coaching comes in at. Coach Wyndham has done a phenomenal job getting those guys ready, getting those guys squared away, and allowing them to grow every single day. Because again, we just trying to put one foot in front of the other. We just trying to take it one day at a time and just make sure we take that next step every day to get better to where we need to be in order to win a championship.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you can ask for, man. You putting the guys in the position to win. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got a question about the O line. I already know. I love the O line and Coach Carr. You got any thoughts on the O line?
So I'm gonna try to keep this story as PG as possible. So it's the first team meeting, and Coach Rob. There's a lot of new players, and Coach
Yeah.
Rob had everyone introduce themselves. Um, and Carr and Coach Green, they were like, and aside, they were like, all three of us coach the offensive line, and we the baddest, blah 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 in this building. Do something about it. And I kind of looked over to the defense, and the defense was just like, okay, like they were like, in my mind, nobody stood up and said, no, y'all not. And I tell that story to say this: that's how our offensive line prepares and plays and competes every day, right? So if you have that mindset, because this offensive line is all about mindset. And yes, it has to do with talent, but if you can have a physical, violent type of mindset, the other stuff is going to take care of itself. And that's what Coach Carr does a great job in instilling those guys. He instills physicality, violence, toughness. And I love that about him. And I love that about our group. And if we could just continue to build upon that, we'll have some fun come fall.
Yeah, yeah. And Coach Eddie's mantra is tough, physical, and violent. He always say that every interview. I pick at him sometimes because I already know what he's gonna say. We're gonna be tough, physical, and violent. But like you just mentioned about the O line, I mean, that's what the O line's supposed to be anyway.
Mhm.
So I mean,
Here's what I'm gonna say about that, right? And I graduated. I love my school. I graduated from PWI, right?
mhm,
And I love my school, but you know, I really truly believe there's life and death in the power of the tongue, right?
Yeah.
Being at HBCU, I now understand how people speak life into you every single day. And if you got people speaking life into you every single day, it's going to do nothing but breathe life. It's going to make you confident in who you are and what you are. Well, I said that story to say this: that tough physical violence, that's Coach Rob speaking it into every young man, every person in his building. Because when Big Bama State take the field, that's what he wants to see. In order for us to win a championship, that's what we're going to have to display every single day. So that's why he speaks it every single time. And man, I'll be happy when a fan starts preaching tough physical violence, because if
Right.
all of us are preaching it, if all of us are speaking life into it, we have no choice but to see it on the field, and that's going to help us to win a championship.
Yeah, I mean the mindset is top tier. You gotta do it because I mean the competition in the SWAC, the competition is so tough each and every week. I mean we've seen it, we know it, and it's going to get even tougher even this year. We got one question right here: top three receivers out the spring. What about the 6'6" basketball players? He coming to the team. I think you're talking about Mario Andrews.
Yeah. He's a part of the team, and he hasn't played football in a while, so we're gradually working him in.
That's what's up.
I get a chance. Like, he didn't start really moving around till the end of spring, probably the last week of spring. So I have to see him move around a little bit more to see his skill set and be able to incorporate that into what we're doing, or figure out another avenue and to take this thing into where it should be. Top three receivers. I probably not going to say that, because again, we had, you know, some things going on in the room with guys coming in, and we may add, cross your fingers, one, maybe two more pieces in the second. But
Okay.
I would say the guy that stuck out the best is Key. Like,
Yeah.
he had a great spring, man. He's so in tune with the quarterbacks. He's so in tune with the offense. You can tell he played quarterback because he understands how to get himself open, how to work the soft spots of the zone. It was a beautiful thing to like watch him this spring, and watch his confidence grow, and watch his game grow, and watch the offense, kind of work itself around him. That was great to see. So hopefully we can continue that on into this summer season, and grow off of that this summer.
Absolutely, man. I was gonna say Key. I've taught praise Key all spring, and I even told him that, and I had a good conversation with him about, and him being from playing quarterback, he sees the field like no other. He sees it. He knows the soft spots in his zone. He knows how to get to his spots, and he's a great athlete. So
Mhm.
it means a lot. You got him ready to run through a brick wall, coach.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We
Hey,
go. We gonna run across a couple this fall. So let's just, in order for us to do it, man, we got to do it together. Like, we have to. Like, we can't. Like, these young men, people in this building, man, I can't tell you how much effort and how hard work that how much work is being put into this thing. But that's just like, that's 50% of the equation, right? The other 50% is the fans, the administration, everyone coming together in those moments when we need it most to get through that brick wall, which is the opponent on the other sideline.
right, absolutely, man. Y'all watching this, man? Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. We got a great conversation with Coach Tony Hull. Before I let you go, Coach, man, what is your summer looking like? What's going on for the summer? Like, how you moving this summer, Coach?
So in the Hall household, that's a fight right there, because I told my wife I wasn't taking a vacation, and she's like, "Here you go again. Like, you gotta take some time to relax." But I don't. I'm so excited about um the fall season. I can't fail in the summer, right? So
Hmm.
the summer for us looks like we'll have OTA practices, the players have workouts, we'll have conditioning sessions, we'll have quarterback school, we'll have film sessions. We'll do all those things, and then Coach Rob does a great job of having some team bonding deals out there. If anyone want to help out with that, you can just you know what? Because we have a bunch of new players. Like I can't. It's a high number, high percentage. So
Yeah,
we got to get these guys somewhere outside of the walls of the complex to get to know each other more on a deeper level. Because again, why are we doing this? Number one, we're trying to love on them, right? And in order to love them, you got to know them. In order to love them, you gotta treat them right. You got to do things for them that the normal person wouldn't. So that's why we do those team bonding sessions.
yeah.
So I'll have that going on, and then we'll have the camps and the 7-on-7s, and so my summer is really really packed. And as of right now, unless my wife forces me to take one, I'm probably not gonna take a vacation. I'll be locked into
No, man,
trying to win that summer season.
you gotta take at least a couple days, coach. At least a couple days, man. Like you say, happy wife, happy play calling. Hey, you gotta keep the mission happy, coach. So
I'm taking my notes. I'm gonna have to
yeah,
write that
yeah,
one
yeah. You
down.
gotta
Happy
write those
wife,
down.
happy play calling. You're
Yeah,
right. You got a point with that one.
yeah, great point. Hey man. Hey man, Talon say you got him over here playing Atomic Dog, man. For the good bros.
Hey man, let's play that after those wins, so we
After
can
the
we
win.
can yeah, so we can wreck on the field to
Absolutely.
Atomic Dog after the victories.
Yeah. Any particular game or games on the schedule that you're super excited for this season, man?
That's easy. Week one. You know what I mean? Like everything we're doing right now is to prepare for week one. Is to prepare for Southern.
Yes, yes, sir.
Our hands are kind of tied a little bit because it's a new staff. We're not going to have really anything to evaluate them on. Like we can't break down anything because like the defensive coordinator, he hasn't called it and coached in college in a while, right? Or for a couple of years. I should say a while, but a couple of years. So that in itself creates a little bit of a handcuff. So everything we're doing now for this summer season is to prepare for that one game, and then after that, we take it week by week. But that's the one game I'm looking forward to. And you ask me why? It's because it's the first obstacle that's in our way of hindering us from getting to our goal, which is a championship.
That's right. That's right. I mean, tickets on sale right now. Birmingham Classic, man. They done made up. This game is so big, coach. They done made a new classic. It's a new classic, the Birmingham Classic, right? So listen, I'm dead serious. This is the first year for the Birmingham Classic, and like you say, you got Marshall Falk on one side, E.
Uh-huh.
Rob on the other side. This is gonna be crazy, man.
We joked about it. We joked about it. We should call it the Night War versus Gentilly. It's Marshall Falk from Night War and E. Rob from Gentilly. So I think that's a New Orleans fly we can put up. That'll be a really good fly.
That'll be
Night
dope.
War versus Gentilly.
Somebody need to make that in chat GPT, man. Yeah, I gotta make that right now. But yeah, hey man, I'm dead serious. Y'all get them tickets because Legion Field is gonna be packed out. Have you ever played? I mean, coached in Legion Field?
I do not believe so. I don't think I have.
Mm. Hey, you in for a treat because guess what, coach? We played twice in Legion Field this year. We played
Yeah.
Madison City Classic in Legion Field. Now,
Ooh,
E-Rob is undefeated in Madison City Classic. You know that, right?
Yes, yes, I do. And I've been getting probably every other day some type of lesson about the Magic City Classic. So it's been fun. So I'm starting to really, really understand what the Magic City Classic about. So I get it.
Yeah, yeah. That first game of the season is just the appetizer for the Madison City Classic. You know what I'm saying? It's like the pre-Madison City Classic. And I mean, we got Labor Day Classic. That first home game is gonna hit good too, because it's your first home game. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
I mean, just up and down the schedule is big game after big game. Then you got to go to UAPB. You got to go back to your old stomping grounds, and help us take care of business there. So,
Yes, sir. And I believe that game is their homecoming too. So that'll
oh,
be
that'd be dope.
yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
dope.
we
Yeah,
gotta buckle our chest strap for that one.
absolutely, absolutely, man. He said we know you from the New Orleans, but the Madison City Classic is bigger than the Bayou Classic.
Hey,
Bigger.
I am no longer fighting that battle. I'm jumping on the bandwagon. I
Yeah,
can't tell you how many times
Yeah.
People would come up to me and show me attendance numbers, and gosh, I'm like, okay, I'll tip my hat. I do believe the Magic City Classic is bigger than the Bayou Classic.
Okay. All right. Y'all heard it here first now. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask him no more because he already told you. He already told you it's going down. So, man, listen here, man. Before I let you go, coach, and I'm looking forward to the season. As everybody, we all looking forward to the season right now. Uh, one more time, tell the fans what can we expect from this Bama State offense in the 2026 season.
You can expect a lot of fun, a lot of fundamentally sound, disciplined football, um, a tough, violent, physical brand of football, but one that's going to put his playmakers in a position to do some great things and create some excitement inside the football game, on the way to winning football games.
Yeah.
So you just buckle your seatbelt. We about to have a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. I'm excited for it, man. We were 4 months away. It seems like a long time, but it's really not a long time. You know what I'm saying? The summer's right here. So, like Coach say, the summer's gonna be busy for him. He's not gonna take a vacation. He's gonna be working. You feel me? So we get ready for August, man. I'm gonna be out there with you guys. I gotta check out some of those practices, man, and all that stuff. But thank you guys for all the love and the support in the chat, man. Everybody watching the show tonight. I think you guys did great for welcoming Coach Hall to the Hornets Nation too.
Yes, thank you for welcoming. Yeah. I feel it, my wife feel it, my family feel it, and we're greatly appreciative.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What can the people find you? You on social media, or what can they find you at?
Yeah, so like all platforms is easy. It's Coach Tony Hall,
Mhm.
on all platforms, and man, I'm all you're gonna see on there is Bama State. You'll see a couple of quotes from me from I'll watch an interview or a podcast or read a book or something to catch my eye, and I'll post it. But everything else I'm posting is about Bama State, unless it's my daughter's birthday or my wife's birthday. But it's all Bama State, man. We are locked in. We are thoroughly immersed in Bama State, and we ready to put this mantle on our shoulders and carry this load to be great vessels for Bama State football and Bama State University.
Absolutely, man. In that picture with you and Coach Brooke that was on social media, we talked about. I had Coach Brooke on a couple weeks. This is her mom right here, and she's so glad to have Brooke learning from you.
she, yeah, Brooke is man. I love Brooke. I love Brooke, and I'll be honest with you. I my daughters, they live in Dallas, and my prayer every night is that God, whatever man comes in their path, would treat them appropriately. With me not being able to see them every day because of the profession I chose and the things that I do, and I promise God that any other woman, that young girl comes in my path, that I'm gonna treat them how I would want my daughters to be treated. And I say all that to say that's why Brooke is where she at with us, because I love her. I think she does a great job. She wants to be a coach in this profession. And doggone it, I'm gonna prepare like I was preparing one of my daughters for this profession. And she has done an extremely great job. She's embraced it, and she's doing some amazing things. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for her, because she has a bright future. And that starts with her mom. Her mom did a great job raising her, and she should tip her hat and be proud, of the young person that Brooke is becoming.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. We love you, Coach Brooke. Shout out to you and your family. Shout out to everybody for watching, man. We appreciate you. I'm gonna let Coach get up out of here, but you guys do me a favor, man. Hit that like button, man. If you're watching us live or you're watching the replay, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, Sports Talking with JB. This is the Black and Gold Show. This is where you get all your Alabama State exclusive interviews, all your content when the season starts. We're gonna be here every Wednesday night. Sunday nights for the Bama State recap show, and we may even do a pregame show. So y'all just stay tuned, stay locked in, man. Coach, thank you so much for joining tonight. I really appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, and thank you for everything you do for Alabama State, brother.
Much love to you, bro. Much love to you. Thank you guys for joining. We appreciate y'all. Until next time, y'all be blessed and go Hornets.